Well, welcome to the first week of March. And what do we have on our plate? Well, Buttigieg has said bye, 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 bye. Let's see. Bloomberg is out there pimping for the black vote, and Joe Biden hasn't got a clue where he is or why he's even there. Yeah, it's going to be one of those weeks. I'm glad I've got plenty of this on hand. Gonna need a lot of that this week. Once again, I was right. It's starting to become a habit, and I'm rather enjoying reminding you that again, I was right. The Democrats know that barring some type of natural disaster, this election is already over before it even gets started. I mean, it's done. And they're not going to sacrifice any of their up-and-coming stars to be beaten and annihilated by Donald Trump in what is sure to be a landslide re-election. That said, Buttigieg, the former mayor of South Bendover, Indiana, is out. There's two reasons that Buttigieg is out. First of all, behind closed doors, the DNC doesn't really believe that America at this point, though they have embraced same-sex marriage, same-sex unions, and they sit through all of the propaganda and hype that gets presented by Hollywood and everybody else about being loving and tolerant and accepting, etc., etc., etc. They know that the majority of the country just isn't there yet. So they know he's not going to get elected this go-round. That does not mean that he's done. They also know, again, number two, that this election cycle is over. And they don't have the rock star superstar that can take down Donald Trump. So what they have to do is pick somebody that they don't mind taking a hit for the party. In other words, take one for the team. So they put the pressure on Buttigieg to step out and try to push his support and his supporters in the Joe Biden direction. That's what this play is all about. They don't want Bernie Sanders to be the face of the party. And again, it's not about his ideology. They agree with his ideology. It's the fact that he's just so overt about it. He doesn't know how to be covert about it. He doesn't know how to nuance it. And therefore, that will absolutely dismantle any hope that they have of restoring the socialistic ideals that were implemented under the charismatic Barack Obama. So that said, Bernie cannot be the face of the party. They know that whoever they run against Trump is going to trounce them. So now they have to pick, who is it going to be? Will it be Bloomberg? Absolutely not. And the reason is they will have an absolute revolution within their party if they allow Bloomberg to buy his way in. First of all, he's already admitted he bought Congress, the Democratic Congress.
Let's just go on the record. They talked about 40 Democrats. 21 of those were people that I spent $100 million to help elect. All of the new Democrats that came in and put Nancy Pelosi in charge and gave the Congress the ability to control this president. I got that. I got that.
So think about what he has admitted there in that little Freudian slip. That if by some miracle, let's say he were to become the president, he could literally get anything that he wants. Whether the Democrats want it or not, he holds the puppet strings of these people he has placed in Congress. He has already bought votes. Even some Democrats are starting to get really nervous now when you think about it like that. Yeah, and nervous you should be. But here's the thing. as Bloomberg is out there writing big checks and buying up all kinds of TV time, and now even doing commercials of himself looking like he's in the Oval Office leading the charge on how to deal with the coronavirus, which I'm going to just start calling the China virus, or should we say the Canadian virus, because that's actually where it started. We'll talk about that in another monologue. That said, he still just can't buy himself personality. Now, he's trying to pimp out the black vote. Isn't that great? But it's having effect with black politicians who are apparently willing to take Bloomberg's money, but the people ain't buying it. Well, The Guardian, which is not exactly a Trump-friendly publication, ran an article, Why California's Mayors of Color Are Lining Up to Endorse Michael Bloomberg. In fact, Bloomberg has gotten a big endorsement from London Breed. She happens to be the first black female mayor in San Francisco's history. And she went on to say the reason that she is supporting Mike Bloomberg is because of the real initiatives, the real plan that he has for black Americans. She acknowledged that his harmful legacy of stop and frisk was a mistake. He owned up to it. He said he was sorry. So, that's all that London Breed needs. As long as he claims to be a Democrat and he says he's sorry, 12 years of his policy and behavior is swept under the rug. And his apology came in November. And then 6 days later, he announced his candidacy for the presidency. Anybody think that maybe that was a shallow apology? Of course we do. Not only that, Bloomberg, again, he's got the money to buy politicians. And who knows what kind of sweet deal London Breed and these other mayors of color in California have given the billionaire Mike Bloomberg. Black people, black voters, ain't buying it. He appeared in Selma for the historical remembrance of the marching in Selma over the bridge. And he went to a black church to give a speech, which that's got to be about as exciting as watching paint dry. And some of the parishioners in the church weren't having it.
More than 200 African Americans were killed. It was one of the worst tragedies in American history. But sadly, it was just another instance of black families being systematically robbed and exploited.
Yes, while he was talking, they actually stood up and turned their backs until he was done. So he's not connecting with black voters. He may be connecting with black politicians, Latino politicians, white politicians. He's connecting with politicians who are for sale. But he's not connecting with people. And that's why the Democratic Party is not going to allow Mike Bloomberg to become the face of their party. They will take his money. You know, the DNC bigwigs, they are taking his money. They're letting him buy the party out of debt. They're thankful for that. But they know that if he becomes the face of the party, there will be an implosion and a revolution, and then the burning wing of the party will break free, will either do their own thing or completely hijack the party. So what they have to try to do, knowing they're going to lose this election cycle, is pick the candidate that he's got to just take one for the team, who's got no real future after this election cycle anyway, and he is known for being just a good, loyal party guy. Ta-da! I give you Joe Biden. He's got to be able to somehow blunt Bernie on Super Tuesday. We shall see if that's possible. And then they need to force this thing into a brokered, contested convention where Shazam Batman, Joe Biden, will become the nominee so that he can take one for the team And then that way, the Democrats are still kind of held together. The Bernie people won't be happy, but the vast majority of Democrats will at least get behind, kind of, Joe Biden, and he won't alienate the black vote like Mike Bloomberg will. In droves, he will. And he won't scare everybody to death like Bernie Sanders is. And there you have it. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you give us a big thumbs up and a like. Share this video to your social media platforms. I would really appreciate it as you're helping us drive up our subscriptions. Check your own subscription status. Make sure you smack the bell for notification of my rants. And please, 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 please tell your friends what's happening here.